Hey all, right, today we're looking and talking about the Jaguar. I think I've mentioned this in a few of my videos. It's on the ramp ready to go up, so I just want to show you what I've been working on. I'm just going to open up the bonnet quickly just to let you have a look at that lumping for those who've never seen it. That's the 5.3 v12. That's a 1988. She's in pretty good condition. Obviously, like any Jaguar of old era, maybe a few modern ones as well, they need TLC. You know, there's a little bit of oil here and there. There's the odd pipe that goes. I've had fun with the water system, but they need care and attention, like anything. Like dogs, hey Poochie, like family, like everything. But if you want an old Jaguar, you've got to be prepared to make it one of the family. And that's for sure. So what's been happening with it? Well, it needed to go through its yearly test. And I had one concern. I'm just going to bring it up while we talk. And the concern that I had was the tyres, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And let me just turn this while I put this up and I can talk to you a little bit better. So, yeah, I had a concern about the tyres because they are fairly worn down and they're pretty old tyres, as in they've been on for a long time. In fact, they were on it when I got it. It's actually got, I know it's noisy in the background because of the lift going up, it's got coming up to 120,000 kilometres, which is only 75,000 miles for those in miles. Since new, all proper original paperwork shows it all. So fantastic low mileage for a car like this, as a lot of people will say, on a V12. Sorry, I'm kicking the ball for Poochie. On the V12, it's only just running, you know, as we like to say. But it's in very good condition. But the tyres, yeah, they were on it, and they were new, as in full treaded when I bought it, and I got it about 7 or 8 years ago. Hard to remember years nowadays, isn't it? Anyway, they need changing, but they were close. And excuse me, the ball's going again. Look at that little monster. Off he goes again. I'm just going to bring now to show you. I'll get my torch on this job as well. Let's have a look round at these tyres. The wheels are in nice condition. I've done a little bit of TLC on the tyres. Wonderful. Can't remember. I know I've put my torch. I've plugged it in. Bear with me. We're going to scoot over this side. And my torch, my trusty torch, which I would say is kind of dying. So the covers fell off. It's covered in oil. But still works. It's nice having things, isn't it? In a garage, you always want everything to be new, but it never works that way. It gets used all the time. So, the wheels are in good condition. I've actually tarted them up a little bit, just sprayed them up, but they are actually in good condition. The tyres, you can see, aren't too bad. You can see the tread depth marker. You might be able to just there. I'll just get it centre for you. So there's a little bit left, but these tyres are drying out. And like I say, they're not particularly new. So there's always a safety issue coming into it. And you can see these are 215 7015s with the 97W. Obviously, speed rating is important. And they speed rated these for about 240 kilometres an hour, about 150 mile an hour, which the V12 is capable of doing. I can't say what speed I've had it to, but it's not far off that. And it hustles very well. So, but the issue I had was particularly this tyre. Now, on the back, it's very close. You can, let me get that centre for you. You see there. So it passed it through its yearly test because it's still below, or above, should I say, the marking, the wear mark there. But the issue with this tyre particularly is the sidewall. See how dry it is. And a patch came out of rubber in my hand, and I've put silicone over it just to slide it through the test. So, I want them changed. I need them changed for safety reasons, obviously. But been on an island. I've mentioned this a few times. We're a bit limited. We get here, and I've been quoted €400 per tyre, which I've paid almost that, but for like Pirellis, 22-inch Pirellis on that thing. Okay, P0s on the Subaru, not as much as that, but they're not cheap on the P0s on this. So I've got, I think they're P0s as well. You know, I expect to pay high money, but for a Jaguar, you kind of think, well, they've got to be a good tyre, got to have a speed rating, but €400, and it's because of limited supply. So what I've done is given alternatives to the tyre company, which is a bit strange because you think it'd be the other way around. They've got, oh, listen, we've got these alternatives. But unfortunately, service here sometimes is a bit limited and you have to push. So I've given them alternatives, so it will pass the yearly test. And I'm looking at some, instead of 215s, I'm looking at some 225s, 70s, 65s. Obviously, that's the percentage of the height of the wall for those who don't know actually what that means. I'm sure you do, but yeah, let's just explain quickly. So your width is your 215, 225s. I'm sure many of you know this. And then the height of the wall here, if you like. I'm doing it in very layman's terms. That height is a percentage of that width. So 70s is 70%, up to 90s. But obviously, and trucks and things go very high percentages, but then low profiles are obviously a lot lower. So I'm happy with something like 70, 65s, anywhere around that, something around that. So let's see what they come up with. But these were, you know, the Pirelli Super Touring, and to match this, yeah, they're talking 400 per tyre. I'm like, I love the car and it's good. Oh, my phone's gone, there we go. Good quality, but 400 just seems a bit excessive. Anyway, there we go. So that's that. Now, the other thing, and I'm just going to lift the lift. If this is too noisy, we'll do a quick edit on it. But up she goes. Take her up. By the way, to keep things, I think I've mentioned this before, turn off regulations for the Porsche. And this is a dummy's way of remembering things. And I will accept that I do things, and if you forget, just do it on there. Just write things, do things. And I've even got a max limit there with that silver mark, and when that matches up to there, so when that one reaches there, I know I'm up at my max for most of the vehicles. The Porsche I have to be even more careful with, but I always keep an eye on it going up to that point. I've got the bonnet open as well, so I need to be careful. I've still got, what, 2 or 3 feet at least up there. Anyway, I want to show you something here. So I'll have my torch in hand. You know what? My favourite thing is putting this torch down and forgetting where I've put it. Does anyone else have that issue? There she is. So, went for the yearly test, as I said, yesterday. It passed, no problem. Anti-roll bar, or sway bar, some people call it anti-roll bar. You see the bush up there? Yeah, it's okay. Then, this side, you can see it's purple. And there's gaps in there still, because I'm still tidying it up. Funnily enough, as I left after passing the test, I was driving home and I got this awful banging noise. And I looked and that bush was missing. And obviously it's a neoprene or rubber bush or polyurethane or whatever they make them out of for that one, particularly the purple one. And I was like, oh my God. So it was banging away and it's missing. So it must have fell out just after. If it had fell out before, I'd have failed the test. But when they do the test, they manoeuvre, obviously, the wheels, checking all the suspension, the CD joints and everything. And it must have popped it, I reckon. And as I've drove out, it's fell out. So I was very lucky. So what I've done, a friend of mine who you might have met if you watch my Subaru videos, Juan, funnily enough, had these purple ones. One of them is on the car, you can see now. They are off a Ford Cortina, believe it or not, a very old Ford Cortina. They are not the right size for this. And what I mean by that is that diameter there, they're too small. This is about 21 mil. They're about 15 or 16. So I had to get them to fit. And the way I did that was to actually drill that out. So if anyone's ever got any bushes, these are very hard, obviously. I mean, they're flexible because they're made to be. And they've got the split so they go over the bar easily. But they are still pretty tough. Luckily, the width was correct. But what I did, and I just want to show you this in case anyone ever wants to do it. I'm sure many of you know how, but I used my little kit here, which is used for boring through wood, boring larger holes. There it is there, and I used that. However, I had to centre it. So what I did, I put the rubber bush in the vise and then simply got a socket, pushed it down into the centre of the bush, and then that kept this drill bit more or less central, just close enough. If not, as you're drilling, all you're doing is slipping off the bush. You need a central. So I put that socket down the middle of the bush and then drilled down. And then I drilled it first time, still a bit too small. So all I did was tighten the vise up so it closed the hole of the bush up. Obviously it's flexible, closed it up, drilled again. So when you release it, the hole gets slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, till it's right size. When I say right size, I've left it so it's very tight on it, and it's going to take the clamp to close it down fully, and therefore easy replacement. So all I've got to do now is get back in. It's a bit fiddly just to tighten the top and bottom bolt, because you can't get a socket on the bottom one. I'm putting a socket on top and just using a normal spanner. Tighten it up, job done. Anti-roll bar, Bush, friend give me that. But if you can't get the right one, if you've got an older car and you can't find it, get one similar and bore the middle out using something like that. So there you go, quick fix on the Jag. For now, that's good. There'll be other things going on with it for sure. And we've got Ellie's Mini to work on. The air conditioning pipes failed, so that'll be coming up on a video soon. To be honest, there's a list of things. The air conditioning on the Kia, there's some motorbike work, and I'm working on another old Mercedes, a 250 diesel, very old one. It's coming in for an oil change, so we'll have that on video as well. Flick through my videos, like, subscribe if you will. Looking at these videos at the moment, you might see that there's not loads of followers yet on it. I'm hoping it'll build, or you might be looking at it in a year's time and there's loads of followers, so let's see. I want to say goodbye, but I think somebody else wants to say goodbye because he's chirping in the background. Aren't you, Poochie? Are you ready, Poochie? Are you ready? Go, Poochie! There he goes, Mr. Football Poochie. From that, we're going to sign off and say goodbye.